Hey guys, Josh here from ultimatesandbagtraining.com, and what we want to start doing is little clinics on how to really optimize using the ultimate sandbag. As we have grown, we've seen still some misunderstanding on how appropriately to apply some of the exercises and progressions of your ultimate sandbag. So one great question we got is, how do we do a movement we call the Cyclone? The Cyclone is basically the integration of both what we call shoveling and around the world. So we're going to break down those movements in a moment. Really quickly, let's just talk about how the dynamics of the bags also influence the exercise. So if I have two ultimate sandbags of equal weight, the more compact one is going to be a better place to start off with because the weight's not going to shift and move as much. Conversely, if I want to make the exercise more challenging, I don't necessarily have to increase the load. I can increase the size and dimension of the ultimate sandbag and have more instability to the bag. So let's go ahead and go over the two drills that make up the Cyclone. The first drill is what we call shoveling. So shoveling is basically a more complex form of doing a kettlebell swing. So if I take my strength bag here, my goal is to start to internally rotate the opposite hip to the side I'm going to. And my goal is just to bring the bag to maybe the knee side. I don't need to go to the ground, and I'm not trying to rotate behind my back. I can go 45 degrees or all the way to the side, depending upon how much mobility I have in both the hip that rotates and the hip I can hinge back upon. Now you'll see I'm grabbing the parallel handles because I want to hold my shoulders down and back. A lot of people still want to clean from the opposing snatch handles, which makes it much more difficult to hold the proper alignment of the upper back, which then potentially could load the low back some more. So as we rotate from here, and now push through the right to the left. So I got to quickly hinge and rotate, and what I'm doing is by locking in the upper body, the bag is freely swinging, but I have control of my upper back and lower back. As I am able to project more with my hips, the bag will swing more. Down to one side. As I produce more force and can quickly rotate, I start creating that shoveling type of action. Now that's step one. The other exercise is the around the world. So a lot of times, people do the around the world way too fast and miss the goal of trying to move maximal mobility through their whole body. So I'm going to grab my power ultimate sandbag here and show you. So I'm going to decrease speed, work through that rotation again. Rotate, but now this time arm comes around and back and around. So I want to really try to open up my mid back, my chest, my lats by going through the motion. So I go the other side, rotate through my hips, produce the motion. Now what ends up happening is I can start combining the two. But you want to give yourself some time to work upon both these components. So when I do a Cyclone, it's going to start in that same position as the shovel. But it's going to come up and across my body as though I've just projected it. But this elbow is going to stay close, and I'm going to go into around the world. As I come around, it's going to bring me right back to the opposing side, ready to repeat the movement. So let me show you. Start down, come across, around, back to the other side. Up and around, back to the other side. So the key is not letting my elbows come away from my body. As the bag's projected, this elbow starts to hit. This one's break. I keep my feet moving. So if we show you in between the bags here, as I project, this foot internally rotates. This one plants, activates that glute, come around, the elbow stays in tight, right to the other side. Now I'm ready to push off this foot, that pivots up and around the other side. What can happen is, as people try to go faster or heavier, their feet are going to want to stay stationary. You can do that, but it requires you to move more freely through the hips, the trunk, and the upper body. So, if I grab a heavier strength bag now, try to do the same movement. Rotate, project. I can keep my feet down, but it requires a lot more stress to those hips, trunk, and upper back. I prefer to move my feet. This is a more athletic-based drill where using your feet allows you to create force during the motion. You just don't want to swing it around your body. You want to do it correctly. The Cyclone is a fantastic drill if you give yourself time to progress through it, learn it correctly, and really optimize the power of ultimate sandbag training.